What's up, YouTube? It's Rachel back with another video. If you're new here, then welcome. I'm Rachel Victoria and I'm an OCB bikini pro. Y'all, the hair is wild. I know. This is why I never let my natural curl run free because it's loud. But I have been a little busy lately, so the blowout just wasn't in the schedule. Anyway, this video is for anyone who is considering getting into competitive bodybuilding. Really, these are just 5 things that I think everyone should really consider and take into account when they're making the decision on whether or not to be a part of this amazing sport. Yes, it is absolutely a wonderful thing in almost every aspect of your life, but there are things that I think every person should consider if this is something they want to do. Quick side note, everything that we're going over today is not listed by importance. I think all of the things are important to consider, and there's no really order for them as we go through this. All right, number one, are you okay with not receiving instant gratification? Because you can't build Rome overnight. Such an annoying saying, I know, like every bodybuilder ever says it, but that's because it is no joke. You are not going to wake up the next day, the next week, sometimes, a lot of times, even the next month, being drastically different from when you first start your plan. You have to give it time and you have to absolutely trust what you're doing and just stick to that plan because consistency is the only thing, and I truly mean this, consistency is the only thing that's going to get you from point A to point B in bodybuilding. There's no hack, there's no magical workout, magical meal plan that's going to transform you overnight, over the week, over a month. It's just not real. And while we're talking about the plan, the second thing that I think you should consider is, do you have a coach that you can trust? Not asking if you have a coach, I'm asking if you have a coach that you can trust. Because there is always going to be, and I can guarantee this, if it doesn't happen to you, then you're very lucky, but I know it happens to just about everybody on prep, where you're going to have people who are questioning your plan, your coach, your training, your water intake, your foods, what you're eating. Like, you're always going to have somebody like, wait, why are you doing this? Like, that's too much water. Why are you doing this? That's too much gluten. Like, it's just, you're always going to have somebody who like saw an Instagram reel and is like, I know more than your coach. So when that happens, you need to make sure that you have a coach and a plan that you stand by and that you believe in. And if there is ever a time where something comes up and you're like, I actually don't know why I'm doing this, just ask your coach and they'll tell you why. And if they can't tell you why, you may want to find another coach. The third thing to consider is, will you be able to be transparent and hold an honest relationship with your coach? Because you have to be able to tell them the truth when you fuck up. And I'm saying when you fuck up, not if you fuck up. You're never going to be 100% perfect. There are people who are always going to be online like, I'm 100% in. I never stray from my plan. I never skip. I never. Nah, nah, nah. That's bullshit. I'm telling you now. You get injured, you feel sick, whatever happened, happened. It affected your nervous system, it affected whatever. You're never going to be 100% perfect. That is okay. You need to be consistent, but if you're having a day, you're having a day. You can't dehumanize yourself in this sport. And that's something we'll talk about another time. But back to what I'm saying. When you have those days where you skipped cardio, you had a cheat meal, you didn't hit your macros, you went over on your macros, whatever happens, you got to be able to tell your coach, because that information will help them make the adjustments they need to make sure that mistake doesn't affect you further. If you're lying about your cheat meals, about your cardio, about your lifting, like anything, if you're lying and then you're not getting the results that you and your coach are expecting, well, only one party has the full information. And your coach can't help you and help you succeed if you aren't being honest with them. And I promise you, like, I've never had a coach like reprimand me in like some crazy way. And I'm actually lying. There was one coach that brought me to tears because he like publicly shamed me in the group chat. I'm not going to get into that. But besides that, like I said, you guys, just make sure that you're transparent with your coach and you're okay with being able to be held accountable and be honest when you make a mistake or you do something that you weren't supposed to. They can only help you achieve your goals if they know what's going on. And since we're talking about cheat meals and skipping cardio, the third thing you need to consider is your why. Because this is fucking hard. It just is. No matter how much you enjoy lifting and, if you really are all about that healthy lifestyle, that's amazing. But you're going to have days, right? You're just going to have these days where going to the gym feels like, I don't know, going to the dentist, or you just can't pull yourself out of bed, whatever's going on or how you're feeling. Your reason for doing this has to be bigger than everything that is required to do this sport. So for me, like my reasoning was very personal and I needed to find my strength, and I didn't just mean that in the gym. So my why had a lot more to do with being the person that I wanted to be and not the person that I was. And that meant way more to me than, being lean or having big shoulders or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I love lifting. I love growing. I love it. But you have your days. And so your why for wanting to get yourself on stage and compete just has to mean a lot more than everything that the sport entails. And while we're talking about everything the sport entails and why your why has to be so much bigger than all of them, let's get into our fifth and final thing to consider: the investment that you're putting in the sport. Financially, energetically, physically, mentally. You are going to make sacrifices, a lot of them. Your social life is going to change. It's going to hit you financially when you're paying for a coach. You're paying for all those meals you got to eat. Healthy meals, by the way, which we all know, especially if you live in America, just how more expensive it is to not have a bunch of shit in your food. It's a lot. If you're not from America, it's a lot. You're going to be spending hours in the gym. You're going to be spending a lot of time doing cardio. You're going to be spending a ton of time eating. And it's not foods that, you're craving all the time. Yeah, the food is really good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I always loved everything I ate during prep, but you're going to have those days where some waffle fries are just, they're calling your name. They're calling your name. They're in your head and they want you and you want them and you can't touch them. It's going to happen unless you're one of those, I don't eat any of those things. I'm sorry. I'm just really not for, I know there are some people who are truly just like hardcore. This is all I eat and I never even touch those things. I never do cheat meals. Da da da. I just like, I honestly just, I'm not going to say what I want to say. I'm just going to keep going. So you really need to think about everything that's involved and really consider, do you have the support from your inner circle? Like the people closest around you, do they support what you're doing? And trust me, like you can be one of those people who's like, I don't need anybody to support me to do what I want. I feel you. I really do. But in this kind of sport, having those people makes a world of a difference. Having people who are going to call you out when you're thinking about eating something you shouldn't. Having people who say, "Oh, I'll go to the gym with you. I know, cuz I won't even lie, like I get lonely after a while. I love being alone, but when you're spending so many hours in the gym every day, it's like you're just lonely. And like I had people who were coming to the gym with me, supporting me and rooting me on. I had people who were constantly asking about my training, like so excited for me and constantly hyping me up. And, that just made it all easier because my personal relationships took a huge hit in my prep. And I still had people surrounding me and being like, I know you don't have the energy. I know you can't give me the time and energy that you normally do. I'm still here. I'm still supporting you regardless. Do you have those people? Because they are so crucial to help you get through. I mean, honestly, I couldn't have done it without them. So that is it for today's video. I really hope that this helped some of you who are considering getting into such a wonderful sport. I really hope that you'll take these things into consideration so you can make the proper decision and be prepared for your journey into bodybuilding. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel because there's so much more to come, and I think I'm actually going to turn this into a 5 things series where we'll be going over different things in groups of 5 in other videos on other topics. It sounds so lame when I say it out loud. I don't know, something I'm thinking about. So, if you would like to see a 5 things series, please drop it in the comments below so I know there's people actually interested in it. Other than that, I will see you in my next video and don't forget to subscribe. Mwah! See you later.